Welcome back. Now let me go ahead and get into this recapping update of the NCAA men's basketball tournament. And I'm going to talk about some early exits, some surprises, and one of the good matchups that's coming up in the next round. So first, we're going to talk about early exits. And one of the first teams that I want to talk about with the early exits is Syracuse. Yes, one of the people that I picked to be in the Final Four. Those guys got booted out early by Dayton, and I'll talk about them later. But hey, those guys in Jim Boeheim, look, they did pretty good, but look, you got to watch out for those small schools because they'll take you out. And speaking of small schools, that's the next early exit that I want to talk about, Wichita State. That's right, the guys of perfection. The guys had the undefeated record going in, but guess what? They ran into a powerhouse, a perennial powerhouse program in the University of Kentucky, and they're out of there. But the biggest surprise, the one that killed everybody's bracket, were the Duke Blue Devils. They lost to Mercer. I don't even know where Mercer is. I didn't even look it up to tell y'all where it is. It doesn't matter because you know why? I'm really not a big Duke fan, so I'm kind of glad they lost, but hey, it killed my bracket and I hated it. And the only thing good from that is that we may see freshman Jabari Parker come back for another year and another chance to win the NCAA title in men's basketball. So moving on to surprises, I want to mention three teams. The first one from right here in Texas is Baylor. Not really surprised so much that they're not a talented team, but look for those guys to be quite dangerous in these upcoming rounds. They have some really good matchups, and they have a good athletic, tall, long ball club that can compete with anybody on the court. The next one, the next surprise is Stanford. Yeah, Stanford. Those guys, aren't they brainiacs? And yeah, you know, the football program got good, but basketball on to the fourth round of the tournament? Yeah, they're here. And the way that they got to this round, they beat out the University of Kansas. That's right, with Andrew Wiggins. That dude was supposed to be all-world, #1 pick in the draft. Well, they got their bags packed up and sent home, courtesy of Stanford. They're not just brainiacs out there, they can also hoop. And my last surprise, is the University of Dayton. Look, those guys are flat out balling. The little schools come out and they always play hard, and that's why you got to like the tournament. You never know what's going to happen. And they beat Ohio State and Syracuse to get where they are now. So I'm going to tip my hat to Dayton. Hopefully they'll go on to the next round because I would love to see another Cinderella story in somebody's bracket and definitely in the tournament. Now, the last thing I want to talk about concerning the NCAA in basketball is a great matchup in this next round. We got a lot of good games going on, but this one could be of epic proportions. And who is it? The University of Kentucky versus the University of Louisville. You got two great coaches, but more so, you got two great players. For the University of Kentucky, you got freshman phenom Julius Randle. That guy has finally started to get those guys to play good around with each other. The chemistry is starting to come. You know, they have 5 amazing freshmen that play for that team. Now, over at Louisville, the defending champions, again, led by guard Russ Smith. Russ Domulus, whatever you want to call him, the guy's good. And look for that matchup to be great. And hey, stay tuned always to Blacks in Motion because I'm going to give you updates all the way until the championship game. And we'll also keep track and see if my predictions, the remaining ones anyway, will stay true. But go ahead and stay logged on. We're going to come back and talk a little NFL football right here at Blacks in Motion.